I'm going to show you now how to pull in different searches or searches of different databases into your reference manager. Now I'm going to walk you through an example with RefWorks. You're also allowed to use EndNote for this class if you're more comfortable with that. If you are using EndNote, I assume you know how to use it, so I'm not going to give you instructions on that. I personally only rarely use it, but there you are. Now, there are three things that I have open right here. One is RefWorks, and let me give you a little bit of sort of what you can see here. And I'm going to change the size of this just a little bit so you can see everything. And what you see here is I've opened RefWorks. These are all my documents. Now, one of the things I want to show you is you'll want to set up two folders because I have all of my references here, but I've organized them into folders so I can keep track of things. So you can just see my different, these are all for different projects, and it just helps me to keep my stuff organized. Notice here I've created two. One, a 6400 abstract review, and then 6400 systematic review. What I'm going to use this one for, and you can see it's currently blank, is I'm going to download the references from PubMed and Cochrane into here. So I've combined both of the searches. Then I also will then have a systematic review that is the ones that I want to read full text. So once I've screened them, then I will move them to systematic review. And these are the ones I'm actually going to use for my project. Now let me show you how to do this. I have two searches up here. Let's say that my question is something along the lines of I want to find out if using PCR for diagnosing C. difficile leads to let's say shorter time to treat or shorter length of stay in the hospital. So what I've done here is I've just done a real quick search up here, C. difficile and real-time PCR. Now obviously your search is going to be much more sophisticated than this, and I've just selected a bunch of studies. Okay. Also over in Cochrane, I've done a similar sort of thing. I've done a search in the title abstract keyword for C. difficile, and then you see and, so I've combined that with real-time PCR, and I've got a bunch of trials that I've identified here, and I just selected them all. So now what I need to do is I need to get both of those into RefWorks. Well, how do I do that? What I can do in PubMed is go up to Send To, click on my Citation Manager, and it's going to generate a file that I can then pull in. So I'm downloading right now, I'm downloading 20 citations. So I'll create a file. Alright, my computer does this, and let me show you over here. Okay, I've got this citations 1 embib. So let me pull that one into RefWorks. Okay, so I'm going to jump back to RefWorks. I'm going to add, I'm going to import references. Okay, and then I'm going to bring up my citations that I just saved, and I'm going to drag them and drop them there. Now RefWorks is going to then confirm, is this the type of format, because there are different types of format to pull in, and RefWorks can read all the major ones. So this works really nice. So I'm going to import. Okay, it's going to think for just a minute. Excuse me, and then it's going to pull in all 20 documents. Okay, so I can see those. I click on OK, and you can see these are all the new documents. And so I'm going to select these, all the new ones. All right. Let's see, influence vitamin D, microbial, yada yada, blah blah blah. Real-time PCR. Okay, you just go through and you select all of the ones. Okay, that are appropriate for your study or that you've just pulled in. Now once I've done that, I'm going to assign them to a folder. I want to put these in the folder I created called 6400 Abstract Review. This is going to allow me to have all of the articles that I want to just do a title and abstract review on in one place. Okay, then I can also pull in the search from Cochrane. Now Cochrane has a nice little tool here where I can export them, and it allows me to export to RefWorks. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Alright, it's going to generate the file, and here then I can download it. And just like I did with, let me go here, so it'll refresh that. So I've got citation export. This is in a slightly different format, but RefWorks can read it. So again, I'm going to import references. Alright, into RefWorks. I'm going to drag and drop the references from Cochrane, and you can see it uses a little bit different format, but it has no problem reading it. So I'll import those. Alright, so it's saved 13 documents, and I jump to those, and now I can 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, and now I'm going to assign those also to the same folder. Okay, my abstract review, and I apply. Okay, now what I do is I can jump over to my folders, and I can see, where'd it go? Oh, right there in front of my face. Okay, I've got all of them in. Alright, so this is great. Now the problem is there may have been overlap in the number of studies, the studies that I pulled in from PubMed and the studies that I pulled in from Cochrane. So what I want to do is check on that, because I want to delete the citations. I know I have 20 from one, I have 13 from the other, but how many do I have that don't overlap? So I'm going to click on Tools and find duplicates, and then I'm going to all references in the 6400. I don't need to do all references everywhere, and I'm not going to look for exact match, I'm going to look for close match. And the reason I do this is because different databases don't use exactly the same format all the time for their citations. So I'm going to check for close matches within my 6400 abstract review. Now I'm going to find duplicates, and lucky for me, no duplicates were found. If I had found any, then I could select one and select one of the duplicates and just remove it. Okay, so this is how then what I can do is once I've read, and let's say I've read 4 or 5 of these, and I decided, okay, these are all the ones that are going to be appropriate for my final, I've looked at all the abstracts, then I want to put them into my systematic review folder. I can assign to folder, I can put them these in my systematic review folder. Okay, now I jump down here, and you see now I've got all the ones I need. Then I can click on this. If I needed to edit it at all, I can edit it, and I've got everything I need right here. So that's one quick way of pulling all of your references from different data sources into your reference manager, and then using your reference manager to really kind of organize and keep track of what you've done.